We should talk about Sal's thing, by the way, because it was so. Gary pointed this out to me.
Sal's speech?
He didn't mention Beth.
I know. It was all Howard.
Sal is retarded. I mean, Sal is retarded.
It was an engagement party, and you were supposed to be toasting the couple.
You know, I'm not talking about whatever, like, people were busting his chops and everything. I'm not talking about the content itself, except for the fact that Gary pointed this out, and I went, you know what, you're right. It's an engagement party, and he doesn't mention the bride to be.
It was his engagement to Howard.
Right. It was like, Howard, you and I, me and you, how do you look at me? You, me. And Beth is like in the way.
First of all, you know you're in trouble when the first line is, when I was 16 years old.
Right.
My sister.
Wait a minute.
Let me play your speech.
We heard about the first time he
Sal,
heard Howard.
you come off so bad.
But dude,
it's
whole
amazing
point
to
that
me. How you work for me is ridiculous.
Thanks.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Like you're like socially retarded. Listen to your speech. Let me see.
Nobody gave me a chance. The point is, I was building up. It was a crescendo to get to Beth in the end.
Who stopped him?
You all did.
I want to say one thing. Howard, get ready to get your ass kicked. Happy to rub Howard's feet any day of the week. Broken off. And Howard, no, in all honesty, I want to say that when I was 16 years old, my sister called me. I was on the way to school. And she knew I loved dick and fart jokes, and she knew I was an idiot. And she says, you have to listen to this guy. He's in the middle of firing a guy named Fred, and he's going into something called lesbian validation. I immediately changed the channel, heard him in the middle of yelling at his staff, yelling at his boss, and after all that, people were cursing, flipping out, I was freaking out, and then Howard goes, and when we come back, we're going to have lesbian validate. And I said, I don't know who this man is, but whoever he is, he revolutionized radio. He's got could deserve the ounce of pleasure for himself that he's given the world over the last 20 years. Say something
I know, it's so bad. But Sal's whole speech was about my career and how he listened to me as a kid, and
it was the history of you and him.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with that.
He found you,
I couldn't believe it. And then lesbian dilate.
So and
then my sister, she called me up and says, "This guy is meant for you."
So I walk over, I whisper in his ear, "Mention Beth, asshole."
Yeah, I know.
Because you're an asshole.
You had to even say it to him.
Yeah, I should mention Beth.
But I was trying to get there, but you guys kept interrupting my speech. I was trying to get there.
Sal, you're an embarrassment. I mean, really, stop kissing my ass every minute.
I'm not, dude. It was your engagement. I was trying to be nice. I was toasting you and your fiance.
No, you weren't.
Yes, but I was. But these assholes that kept heckling left and right, I couldn't get to the big grand finale, the ending.
You're sitting there talking about how in love you are with me, and it has nothing to do with the fact that I'm engaged.
Yeah, if you were wearing the ring, I would have understood the speech.
What's the grand finale? Tell us, because in all fairness,
the grand finale was
there was no grand finale.
Yes, there was. The point I was trying to make, I go, Howard, if you get 1 ounce of the pleasure from Beth that you've given the world, then you got the luckiest girl. Then you're the luckiest person in the world.
And I'm the luckiest girl.
Luckiest girl.
Even your Freudian slips are so revealing. She's the luckiest girl in the world.
She is.
But your part about Beth is all about Howard.
No, but look, the point I'm trying to make is that this guy's broke his ass for 20 years, and it took him 20 years to break his ass to entertain the world, yet all he needs in his life to get that back is Beth Ostrowski.
All right, get out of here.
You don't see how that's all about him?
You're insane.
No, you're insane, and that fat slob over there is insane because you guys are just putting a spin on all this.
No.
I am trying to say that Beth Ostrowski is a beautiful woman that has given you the pleasure that you've given millions of people.
Yeah, but it's not.
I'm putting her in the mix. I'm putting her in the mix.
But no, she shouldn't be in the mix. She should be out in the forefront.
She's my gift for entertaining you and millions of people.
Right.
Yeah, you're not getting it.
You don't
it's
see
a
not
shitty speech.
It's like you're a king and she's your presentation.
Yeah, right. Here is the woman who should make you happy because you've helped me and millions.
Yeah, they should carry her in on
that. Thank you. Now you're getting it.
No, but did you get it? What about her? It's an insult to her.
Maybe
she's a terrific girl, and I'm the lucky one getting her.
Right.
Here's your gift for making me and all my shithead friends from Long Island happy.
You don't know how to make a fucking speech.
I know how to make a speech.
You always
She's not
screw
just
up.
a present for Howard.
Well, what's wrong with being a present rather than being a pile of shit? She is a gifted person. Listen to me. She's a gifted person that she has the ability to give you the pleasure that you deserve that you've given the world.
How about
I don't get how that's insulting.
Sal,
I don't get it. You guys are crazy.
You're retarded.
No matter what I
she
say,
gives Howard and that pleasure he's giving way different pleasures.
Your thought process is
I'm
so
saying
muddled.
something nice about you and your beautiful
Listen to
fiance,
me.
and you
I
turn
just
around
want to
and
tell you something.
You're a horrible speech giver.
Your thought process is so muddled. I can't even begin to tell you. That poor wife of yours. I'm telling you. No
You're
wonder.
on her side now.
I am.
Hey, by the way, Howard.
You're muddled.
I'm not muddled. Listen to me.
You're befuddled.
Listen to me. Let me give you some basic arithmetic. 2 + 2. Howard entertains world. Howard finds somebody to entertain him. End of story. The end. Finito.
And you think that's a normal thought? You think that's a good speech?
That's a point?
Well, it's...
In other words, she is my prize for entertaining the world.
Sure.
I see.
But you put the word prize in. I put her in as like
a gift. You said gift.
A gift.
She's a
like
gift.
the Messiah.
A
Like
gift.
Jesus came down.
So it's not a prize, it's a gift.
She's your bowling trophy.
Yeah, it's it's sort of like, look, Howard, did she make you happy?
Yes.
So I'm happy for you that she makes you happy the way you made me.
What about
I can't
her?
even believe.
Sal.
You know what? I shouldn't even give you a fucking speech. I can't even believe I look up to you. All you do is rip me to shreds. I'm trying to praise you.
You treat me like I'm the king of the world, and now, sire, here is your presentation. You're insane.
So what about the part where
you're a sick man,
what
and you
can you-
need psychotherapy?
What can you say
I'm
about
never
Beth, Sal? What can you say about Beth as a person? Excluding Howard.
She looks good next to Howard.
See, you're being a jerk.
Next to Howard.
What can I say about Beth? She's
He's
a
not
wonderful,
being a jerk. That was
sweet,
serious.
nice, sincere girl. She's got great. I saw her on The View. I think a little bit of you rubbed off on her with a delivery. I thought that was nice. And
Oh my God!
I heard
She's a
him saying
sweetheart
this
of a
to
girl.
her before
She's so
we
sweet.
went into dinner. He stopped Beth and started saying to her that she started to talk like Howard, and that was good.
Right.
That he was complimenting her because now you're sounding like Howard.
her cadence and her delivery on The View was somewhat similar to yours. You know, it was enjoyable,
Oh
it was
my God.
refreshing, and it
Listen
was
to me.
entertaining.
Listen to
Sal,
me.
if you had known Beth as a person without Howard in her life, do you think there's any compliment you could give her?
Outstanding, beautiful girl.
All right. Well, what
about as a person? That's looks. Now, what about Beth as a person?
Okay, well, Gary, if I'm saying Beth is giving somebody, the king of all media, pleasure for the rest of his life, I can't think of any better way
Would you
to
say that she's a
compliment
good? Would you
somebody.
say in a way she's a good trophy for me?
All girls are trophies,
Right.
dude.
Okay.
I mean,
all right. Listen to me. Here's a speech I want to make.
Summer
I want to
bowling
make a speech
trophy,
now to
summer
you.
Oscar.
Turn around and get the fuck out of here.
Wait, I want to hear about Beth mentioned that you guys made up. I want to hear about that. How'd that?
Well, that's when he was telling her she sounded like Howard.
What a compliment.
Hey, Howard.
You know what, Sal? You're a comic. You would have been better off just going for jokes.
I didn't want to go
wonder
for jokes.
every
I just
time-
wanted to have a nice dinner, and I just wanted to.
I want to be sincere.
He
wanted to be
wants to be
sincere.
funny.
Yeah.
I just came here to have a nice dinner.
And winds up being creepy.
But how am
You're
I
a
creepy?
creep. That's exactly the right word. Robin hit on that. You're a creep.
Listen, what do you do for a living?
I'm on the radio.
Right. And why? Because you have a fixation and a need to entertain people.
Go
and
ahead.
you have.
Right.
And that's my point, is that my point at your speech was, my speech was, Jesus, my point. The point of my speech was to tell you that you've graced so many people with being an incredible entertainer, and I know you hurt inside. I know you do. You know, I know you have a lot. And the point is that somebody like you, over years and years of grief and anger and anxiety, you've put it all on the line. You've entertained so many people. You finally got what you deserve. You finally got the pleasure back in your life that you've given so many people. And that pleasure is Beth Ostrowski.
You're a fucking lunatic.
Hey, so what
if you got up? Now, what if you?
Now, I think that's so nice and touching.
Now, what if you got up and said, you know what, Beth? You're an amazing person. You're terrific. And, you know, I'm really happy that you have Howard in your life, because you know what? After the years of being in different relationships, things like that, why not reverse it and make it about her?
Well,
because
I did.
You sit there and suck my nuts like she's a prize for me, and it's a bizarre speech. You come off in such a weird way. I can't even begin on how many levels to tell you how that speech is completely bizarre.
Do you realize that I saved the best for last? That was Beth. That was my whole intent.
You're full of shit.
No, I'm not. She's in the end.
No.
And everybody...
And Howard, here's your present for
entertaining
what you're saying?
It's like you're saying, Howard, you are God. And now look at the beautiful gift we are presenting to God.
Yeah, I mean, this is a sacrifice from us to you.
She should have been drunk.
Now throw in the volcano.
Like I'm King Kong, and she's like, Fay Ray being brought to me for me to devour. In other words, you are the great Kong. Here is your gift.
Please
That's
don't
your
eat
speech.
us.
Hey, dude, you're the great Kong, man. That's awesome.
That's your speech. So you know how awkward that is?
Not really.
It's like the Godfather speech that Artie does all the time. Don Corleone.
Yeah, you're Luca Brasi.
You're Luca Brasi. You are Luca Brasi. There was one point he started to talk about how, as a kid, he heard Lesbian Dial-A-Date and realized this man was revolutionizing radio.
You were. I mean,
but Sal, that wasn't the time to honor him. It was
the
about
point
being
was,
engaged.
I know.
The point was what?
The point was that I've never had the opportunity to tell you that. It was a beautiful moment and a beautiful night, and I was able to put it all together.
Can I pull him aside and tell him that
Howard,
story?
can I ask Sal a question? Because he said something earlier. I'm dying to know.
I don't get it. I complimented you. I didn't curse. I didn't make an ass. I don't.
That might be appropriate at like my retirement party.
I don't know, man.
Not even, but I'm just saying you don't have to.
When he's inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame.
It was so douche chilly, and I looked at your table. If you thought Buchwald was rolling his eyes at Dominic, he didn't know what to do. He was so embarrassed for Sal. He wasn't looking at you. He was talking. He
was talking to a dinner roll.
No one knew what to do because first of all, he promoted Lesbian Dial-A-Date. How did you know what it was? He just said when we come back, Lesbian Dial-A-Date.
You don't forget moments like. You don't forget moments like that in your life. You don't.
It's a lie. You didn't hear it.
You're being booed.
You are fixated on me.
So then Howard, after that, and
you're a creep.
Well, when everybody started heckling me and you got up and walked over, I go, wow, this is nice. I mean, here's Howard consoling me.
He
and he whispers to me and goes, say something about Beth, you fucking asshole. I'm like,
did you really? Yeah, really did. I did. I go, Sal, stop it. You're embarrassing me.
Sal, how could you continually fuck up your relationship with Howard?
I said to Howard, I go, I'm getting there.
Well, you know what it is? I'll give you why did Brando and Vito Corleone keep Luca Brasi around? Because he could call him to cut off a horse's head. If
Right.
Sal's here because he'll get naked and paint Richard's balls.
Right.
Not because he's great at a party.
Hey, Howard, can I ask Sal a question? Because he said something earlier. How does Howard hurt? You said he hurts.
What is my pain?
You're
I'm dying to know what that
sad, is. You're angry, you're whatever.
That's what constitutes Howard Stern.
But what makes him hurt?
I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I don't know what makes him hurt.
You're not a psychologist? I didn't know that.
But
I thought you were.
Wait, Sal, you said before, you go, listen, Howard, I know you hurt, but you're still great. So you clearly have an idea in your head that he's got some sort of pain. I'm loving to know what it is.
Well, last week you kept saying, I can't sleep, I'm sad, and.
Well, sure, everybody has their.
Yeah, so you hurt a little bit. We all hurt, but it's.
I'm hurting right now.
Everybody hurts.
It's nice. But.
See, Sal is talking about himself. It's
song?
once again his I'm on your wavelength, Howard
Right.
sentence.
Oh, so Robin, you shouldn't be concerned for a friend if he's hurt?
No, this
he's
is
sad?
you. You're projecting your feelings.
Look at me.
How am I projecting my feelings? If a fucking guy
Aren't
tells
you in
me,
pain? Aren't you
Sal.
hurt?
I'm always hurt. I was born
Sal,
hurt.
look at me. There's something very wrong with you.
Yes,
I'm telling you. No.
always switching shit around. I'm trying to be a nice guy to you.
You want my advice? You really need to see someone for some help. There's something really off. You're off. You know when someone's touched? You ever hear it touched?
No, what is touched?
Touched means like there's a little something wrong.
loose.
There's a
Touched in the
screw
head.
loose.
Isn't the whole world touched?
No,
We're all
not like
touched.
you. Maybe
Not like
you got
this.
2 screws loose.
I want you to get psychological counseling.
Some of us are touched in capital letters.
And try to go to someone legitimate, not some shaman. All right?
Yeah, don't go to the guy who drives you.
I feel so deflated.
Get some help. Yeah,
You're
get
broken.
some help.
You see how your wrist is in a cast? Your brain should be in a cast.
I don't have a brain.
Are you crying?
Guys, I'm so deflated. All I wanted to do, I didn't want to be funny. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to say, hey, thank you. That's all.
night, did
I said,
you
thank
realize-
you, and here's your prize.
But hold on a second.
No, no,
Wait,
no.
hold on,
everything
hold
you've
on.
done.
So, listen
Here's
to that.
your prize.
Listen to
You're
this.
saying it again.
Here's
So
your
listen,
prize.
that was not a night to say thank you to Howard. That was a night to say congratulations to this
Right.
lovely couple. It wasn't a place to say thank
Gary,
you to
there
Howard.
wouldn't be a couple without Howard.
Stop!
Oh my God!
It's insulting.
No, it's not
It
insulting.
is.
dude.
Whatever. You guys are nuts.
Are we nuts?
Did you realize
No.
how badly this was going
No, there's one nut in the
that
room.
night?
I couldn't wait to say it. I thought it was. I envisioned standing ovations, but
went horribly
they were
wrong.
standing, but nobody
Did
was.
your wife
clapping.
say anything to you after that speech?
She said, "What do you expect? You kissed his ass. You sounded like such a moron." And
She came over to me and said, please pay no attention to my
Hey,
wife.
Howard.
Really? Did she?
Yeah.
She came over to me and said, "Is that paint gun around?"
Every person that sat at their table has come to me this morning to tell me that all Sal and his wife did was bicker the entire party.
Really?
They said it was like a show going on. Is that true, Sal?
Well, I'm cutting my lobster with my busted arm, and my wife's behind me drinking wine, laughing, making fun of me. Like, look at Sal with his bad arm. Wah, wah, wah. She just. Will is getting engaged. His fiance was sitting there. Her mouth was down to her fucking ankles. She was in shock. I go, you wait, see, you think you're all happy right now? Happy engagement and everything else? 15 years. You'll see when you're on the cover of a fucking newspaper with a murder-suicide. Everything's all beautiful
Do
in
you
the
think
beginning.
that's where it's going? Because you better get out. You'll be in jail
Speak at his
for the rest
wedding.
Do something, Sal.
Yeah, be careful.
You're not going to do a murder-suicide.
No.
Is this the thing that we're going
Not
to
yet.
ignore?
You're just probably going to do murder. You're not doing the suicide
Is
part.
this the thing we're going to ignore? And when Sal does it, we'll go, well, he said that, but we didn't really mean it. Think he meant it.
Just don't do it at Virginia Tech. They've had enough problems.
Really?
Pick a different college.
Pick the Johnson Space Flight Center.
But what'd you want to say, Will?
It was just so funny to see Sal and his wife fight, but my girlfriend was really uncomfortable with the whole thing.
Why?
because
What was going on?
It's just like they try and one up each other, and they're making a joke about it at first, but then it obviously becomes like real? Like, yeah, and there's a lot of tension, and you're just
But
like,
Will, was I
"Geez."
even saying anything? My wife, she
Well,
was.
this is it. You both try and play like, well, I'm the victim here. No, you're the one that's the asshole, and it just goes back and forth, and it just gets to a point where it's completely uncomfortable.
You guys need a date. You're the fighting couple.
And then my wife, after a
And
couple of
they're the
drinks, she breaks down. She goes, "Next time I do this, I'm marrying a Jew."
Oh, my gosh.
Why would she marry a Jew? What does a Jew
Because
have?
they kiss your ass, they make good money, they pay attention to you.
Those people?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, you married the
She's
right
nuts.
woman, I think.
What about
marry a Jew.
That is a funny. That was a funny table because I don't know Will's fiance that well, but she does seem very proper,
Yeah.
you know. And then you got Richard,
Oh,
who
my
is
God.
just whose teeth were
They were
brown red from the wine.
Yes.
Yeah, they were grape colored.
drunk off his ass.
I had to call him aside, too.
It doesn't do any good,
I go,
Howard.
Richard. I walk into the party. It's a surprise party for me and Beth, in case you're just tuning in. And it's a surprise party. And so I guess you guys got there. I don't know, a half hour earlier or
Yeah,
something.
we got there at 6:30 or a little bit before 6.
So this guy
or
Richard,
before 6:30.
he must have had 5 glasses of wine before I got there. So in a half hour, wasted. I mean,
I'm
just
not
like
even sure
totally.
he started with wine. He might have had mixed drinks before that,
So
and then did wine and champagne during the dinner.
Yeah, so I see sloppy already.
Yeah.
So,
So
I go, Richard, look. I said, I know this is my party and stuff, and I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm just giving you a heads up. You're coming off bad already, and the night is young.
I said to him earlier, I said, the bar is open all night. It's not like you have to drink everything now.
Were you nervous at any point? Because I was watching him. He was kind of stumbling. He had a fork in his hand. I thought he was going to stick Beth with the damn thing. He was like stumbling.
No, so I pulled him aside. I said, look, you want my advice? I said, you're being what's known as a chazer. That's an Italian word. I said, I know it's a free bar. I said, but what you got to do is there'll be other alcoholic drinks in your future. You don't have to
and
worry
other
about
alcoholics.
it. Yeah. And I pull him aside. This is like a big surprise.
Yeah.
And like within minutes, I'm pulling
You're
Richard
taking him aside
like a baby. And I said to him, it'd be nice. What you do is when you have wine, have a glass of water after maybe a glass of wine. Yeah, you go, I already had water. I know that.
I drank that water last week.
Yeah, so I go, I know you know it. I said, but I think you're forgetting it because you're already shit-faced and it's only 7 o'clock.
Yeah, the night had hardly started.
Yeah,
these two guys, I think they're really funny, and I'm far from being one of the royal family, but you two are, like, where the fuck were you brought up?
Yeah, Richard was...
You have nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
there's not even an ounce of, like, maturity.
This is not the local bar.
I love it.
And it's not midnight.
Yeah, it's funny, but
You're
Jesus.
supposed to just enjoy yourself. You ever heard of social drinking?
No. Well, I get more social when I'm drunk.
No, you don't.
You're like a bore.
No, we had fun. We were slapping each other on the back. We were hanging out.
Yeah, but I got to tell you something. You get this. I'll do an impression of you. You get this hangdog look on your face.
There's a look, yeah.
You're like this.
And you're weaving.
It's like the happy retard because he's smiling.
Yeah, you're like. Yeah. And I mean, you're at a social function with women. And,
there's people to interact with. Now you're blasted and you can't even talk.
I want to congratulate you. I came from the middle of nowhere in Kansas, and this guy gave me a chance. I owe everything to you, Howard. And I'm not just speaking, and it's not the wine speaking. I really mean it. But man,
your teeth were red from the wine.
Yeah, it gets like that when I drink wine.
Yeah. Look, I know you didn't have any. Look, there you are. There's a picture of you at the party. Look at that. And I mean, women are looking at you.
You look like a retarded person.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's a happy retard.
Well, it was that champagne. I started with champagne, and that was, I don't know if that was Dom Perignon or what, but it was good. And I had 7 glasses of that, and then went to wine.
Yeah.
It was good, though, Robin.
That is crazy. 7 glasses of champagne.
But they were small glasses, smaller glasses.
You realize when you say to Richard, were you brought up in a bar, and you realize with him that's not a rhetorical question.
That's right, he was.
They had a champagne flute.
I used to spend the night in our barn just for fun when I was a kid.
That's where you belong still.
Yeah, your family was glad on those evenings.
All right. Shh. Listen to me. Listen to me.
Okay.
Because the noise level's building up, and it's early in the morning for me. You need guidance in your life. You're a bore.
A bore?
You understand what a bore is? Yeah. When you get into a party, you drink a little bit.
I wasn't boring at the party.
No. Listen to me. What a bore is. I'll give you the definition.
It's like a wild pig.
Yeah. When you're at the party, you have some class. You have a glass of champagne, then you stop a little bit, you sip it.
Did you notice there were tablecloths on the table?
Hey, Howard.
But listen to me. I'm trying to really be serious now. I've stopped all the
and
noise.
I drank water, like you said, too. I drank some water.
You walk around with a shit-faced grin. You know what I'm saying. You gotta...
Your face gets all red.
Yeah. Am I right, Sal?
When you first walked in, when we said surprise, me and Richard intentionally stood in the front. We thought you were going to be so happy to see us. So we yelled surprise. Howard's walking our way, and he goes, "Hey, Dominic, how are you?" He goes right over our shoulders.
I even said hi to you. I was like, "Hey, congrats, Howard." And you go, "Hey, Dominic."
You walk right by us.
Yeah.
Like these two assholes are at my party.
Why do I do that? Now you see why.
I know, we know why, but...
All right.
Because I had 2 glasses of champagne in my hands. That's why.
There's you licking JD.
Then you're licking JD's face. It's enough.
Oh.
Go slow. The night is young.
Yeah, but the party was over early.
Yeah. Okay. But you pace yourself so you don't make an asshole out of yourself. And you enjoy the drinking. At some point, when you drink that much that quick, you don't enjoy it.
Were you able to go and talk to everybody at the party? Were you able to go and say hello to Maggie Buckwald? No, because you didn't. You did not.
I talked to Don for a long time about wines and stuff, and I talked to everybody at the party.
Hey, Howard, do you remember what Richard kept yelling out at the party all night? He kept yelling out, "Big guy jacking," all night.
What does that mean?
Richard downloaded a video of a guy 300 pounds who jerks off and then eats his semen. And he thinks it's the funniest video in the world. So all night at your party, he kept yelling across the room, "Big guy jacking, big guy jacking." And everyone's like, what's that all about?
It was like an inside joke with me and
two of
JD.
you go back to that office I got you. And go
And never
create
come
something.
out.
Yeah. And close the door. No one wants to see you today.
I had fun, though. Thank you.
All right,
Just
thank
release
you.
the tapes.
Thank you,
I'd
Sal.
say thank you, but I don't want to get in trouble and be called a psycho.
Yeah, what would your thank you be now?
Hey, Howard.
That picture of Richard and JD, they look like two people who've been locked up in a shed in Alaska for 8 months. There's like no sun. look at how pale
Yeah, two
they are.
whiter people you couldn't find.
Yeah.
They look sick.
And they're white people. They have privileges.
Richard, what happened, man?
I knew that was going to happen. Every time I drink, even if I didn't get a little sloshed, which I'll admit I did, and I was expecting this talk, but things get exaggerated a little bit.
There was no exaggeration.
I'm a drunk. What am I going to say? I love to party. I love to drink. I'm not going to deny that. I love it. It's good wine, good champagne. I got sloshed.
But what about some of
And I had
Howard's? Howard suggested maybe pacing yourself, drinking in moderation.
That's not as fun.
Yeah. So
It's
you're not heeding his advice here?
It's hard because, man, to get a good buzz on and be with your friends is fun.
And it takes work. You got to start early.
Yeah, and if the booze is flowing, I'm not gonna go lightly on it.
What about you, Sal? It seems like your obsession with Howard even spills over into congratulatory.
Because of him. He's the one who started the heckling. Ass kisser. And as soon as I heard in the back, I knew this guy was
Well, by then you should have known not to kiss
But when you
ass.
said it, I knew an avalanche was gonna open up because this fucking idiot was so drunk the whole time. It's like, ass kisser. So I knew it was all over.
But you don't think your speech was inappropriate or too, one-sided towards your love for Howard?
It was a build-up. It was a build-up. That's it. I had a speech. I was building up, and in the end, Beth was the grand finale of it. So, but I couldn't get it off because this drunk idiot here inciting a riot during the middle of my speech.
I wasn't the only one that yelled.
I know,
at.
but you're the first one to jump off the fucking table. Let's get her! And then just waving his arms, yelling, "Big guy
Hey, I was
jacking."
listening up the crowd for you.
Thank
buddy.
you. I appreciate it.
Come on, lightening the mood because you were very serious. and,
Yeah, I don't.
you-
Yeah, good. Thank you. I'm no longer serious. So who gives a shit?
So basically, none of Howard's advice about how to behave at a party went. You didn't learn anything.
I think we did fine. I was nice and sincere, and Richard had a few drinks.
That's what people expect from.
What are you supposed to do at a party? Just curl up and dig a hole and die in it? It's a party, You're supposed to party
Yeah.
at a party. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Haven't you heard the Beastie Boys song? You gotta fight for your right to party, and that's
That's it.
what we're doing.
I mean, next thing
We're
you know,
keeping it real.
you want us to be quiet, invite us to a fucking library. I mean, we're at a party.
Maybe not fight so hard next time.
No, we're fighting.
We